room. I have no idea what the hell they were talking about, but here's how we're going to play it out this year, because they sort of put their foot in their mouth like they did last year, which again is a different committee. They asked them, hey, Florida State, if they would, of course they're going to be in. It's a Power 5 conference. They're undefeated. Yeah. And then on Saturday night, go, oh my God. Like, now we're in panic mode. I don't think we could put Florida State in, and they made the change. Now, for them coming out to say, like, we're not even going to reevaluate anything left on the table by teams that haven't played again, which means like Miami not playing in a conference championship, or Ohio State, or whatever it might be, right? I don't think they should have said that, because they would have been smart to say, here's what we're thinking this week. Things can change next week, and we'll reevaluate. So they put their foot in their mouth they were hoping, like, well, I hope I don't have to go back on those words. I think they will, because they also said the same things like during the show, and then they asked Ward Manuel, well, what if SMU loses? Can Alabama jump on? He's like, yeah. And like, well, wait a second. Is that not what you didn't say on the show? Like, we're just talking in circles at this point. So I think things could, because hear me out, Kevin. Clemson by 2 touchdowns, SMU gets catapulted. But
100%.
Clemson by a field goal late.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, conference championship, we're going to hold that against them. They had to play an extra game against a quality opponent and lost by 3. But granted, they didn't give Miami that benefit of the doubt. Oh, Miami, you have 2 horrible losses. Yeah, by single digits combined between those
to a team
two.
that got ranked now.
Yes. So these two, there's so many things the committee says, what they mean and what they don't mean. We try to read between the lines. It's Moneyline. It's a Thursday. It's action-packed. It's DRS. It's Kevin. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Sports happens every day. Trust us.
It does.
And we give you the winning edge every day.
You see where we're going with this?
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Investigators are searching for clues that could help them identify the masked gunman who stalked and killed the leader of one of the largest U.S. health insurance companies on a Manhattan sidewalk, then disappeared into Central Park. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thomas died in a dawn ambush Wednesday at age 50 as he walked to the company's annual investor conference at a Hilton in Midtown, blocks from tourist draws like Radio City Music Hall and the Museum of Modern Art. The police department offered a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction. A former Florida ballerina has been sentenced to 20 years in prison following her manslaughter conviction for fatally shooting her estranged husband in 2020. Manatee County Court records show Circuit Judge Matt White imposed the sentence Tuesday on 32-year-old Ashley Benefield after rejecting her request for a new trial based on allegations of juror misconduct. Benefield contended that she killed her estranged husband, 58-year-old Doug Benefield, in self-defense during an argument at her house in Bradenton.
I'm Trey Westerberg with the SportsGrid News Flash.
Let's face it, winter can be a hard season. It's cold pretty much all the time. Blizzard. You have to shovel. Another blizzard. You slip on ice. But you know what makes winter suck a little less? Getting a free phone. Join Cricket Nation and get a free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. Ooh, ouch. Welcome to enjoying more. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Must open a new line on the $60 unlimited plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Let's make something crystal clear. The winning edge has nothing to do with increasing good luck. Luck has nothing to do with it. It's sports gaming strategies and information. You want luck? Flip a coin. You want to win?
Flip it here.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Hurry back, I'm yours. Return.
Right back at it here. Come on now. Last hour of your day. You understand this. We're talking college football playoffs, which is fun. We got a monstrous game tonight, no doubt, in the NFL, which we will get to. There's some other odds and ends out there, like the fall of the Los Angeles Lakers, which happened last night in Miami. So there's hot topics. But I want to take a look at this because the passion overflows because of how perfect we are so close. And Mark Zinno joined us this morning on the early line. Ben, as you know, is always there with us. And we look at this, and I think everybody's in agreement. And I love to first of all, I love to talk about my losses even more than my wins. It's more fun to, punch holes in your own stories. But the fact that we saw the 12 team, and the 12 team, and I preface this by again saying, Kevin, it's so much better than the 4 team. It's so much better than the 2, and it's so much better than pre-BCS where you were guys. We were at a point where we were voting for a national championship team when they didn't even play each other. Think about that. That was the mindset we had in college football not too long ago, 25 years ago. But now as we step into it, we knew the issue would be is we're going to get the majority of the good teams in. Will we still have arguments to make on some other teams? Yes. But we know we're going to get the top 5, top 6 teams in. That was the goal. But then we said to ourselves, and I equated, Kevin, to sports gambling when it went live, to some people who should know better that don't. New Jersey, welcome into the party. But in order to make this happen, you can't bet on any teams in New Jersey. So it's okay, that's better than nothing at this point. But again, doesn't make any sense of why they did it here. Ridiculous for people making those, decisions based on things they don't know about. Fast forward to the college football playoff, the automatic bid. We go, that's an issue right off the bat. And here we are on the precipice of having the final Sunday where we're going to know exactly who's in. And the arguments are coming now is, what the hell are we doing with these bye weeks, Kevin?
Yep. Oh, I mean, it's such a mess. It is such a mess. I don't think people realize, so we talk about what happens if SMU loses, Donnie, and does it keep Bama in? Well, here's the other things that happens if SMU loses.
Mm-hmm.
Boise's going to the 3 seed and Arizona State's going to the 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point now, if you're the committee, you go, no. Sorry, actually, we're going to change all the rules. Miami won the ACC, and the Big 12 doesn't even get in anymore. Bama's getting the bye. Sorry. Notre Dame, actually, you're an independent. You can get the bye. We didn't realize what we were doing.
By the way, a quick point on this, too. What would have happened, Kevin, if the committee just did this and said, forget about the buys, right? Top seed, whatever. But we're going to hold one spot, Kevin, which will be the 12 spot for the group of 5. And they wouldn't get a first-round bye. They just would be entered into the tournament as the 12th seed at that point. And then you didn't have those automatics. I think it would work because they want to try to include teams that technically shouldn't be included. They're trying to be the March Madness tournament when you get 64 teams in. And the fun of it is hey, look at all these teams playing in their conference championships to get a chance to go in. But we still got the top 35 or 40 teams in the country in with at-large bids. You can't do that with just 12. So if you just removed Boise from that equation, Kevin, from a bye to a 12 seed, I think that would handle a lot of this.
So here's the problem, Donnie, is when they did this, they were like, all right, so the 12 seed, come on, that'll be the G5 team. They didn't plan for this. They didn't think there was going to be a scenario where the 12 seed was anything other than that group of 5 team. But they ranked Boise so high because they have Gentry, they hung with Oregon, and now here we are because they've been basing things on record. They should have been dropping Boise, Donnie, on a weekly basis. Boise getting put on upset alert by Wyoming. But again, the committee, Donnie, there's just not enough critical thought. Did you win? Cool, we're not touching you. That's what they do more often than not, which has obviously created a bit of the problem that they have. To your point about college hoops, when you get bid stealers, right? Man, NC State went on a run, won that ACC tournament. Yeah, all good, man. Duke's in, UNC's in, Virginia's in.
Correct.
It's no problem here.
Correct.
And it's but what about 29 and 2 Charleston just got left out, Don, because they didn't win the Patriot. Okay. Well, you know what? Sorry, you should have won the Patriot League, right? That's okay. You're I don't know what you want me to tell you. You now have a situation, Donnie, with the way that they've built this up is you're knocking out your blue bloods for your scrappy dogs, and now you have too many scrappy dogs is the problem.
Yeah.
Now you have the ACC, you're not getting your best option. Miami was your best option in terms of a product in Miami. You're not getting that. And it's so funny because I think people, I'll at least myself, I grew tired of Boise throughout this year. Well, UNLV in the playoff? Are you kidding me? You kidding me? Team that lost at home to Syracuse? What are we doing? That's not good. That's not what we're asking for, right?
No.
So
that's not
we messed that up completely. We had a moment where we thought we were going to get Colorado out of the Big 12. And of course, we can't have nice things. That got messed up. Now we're getting Scattaboo or Rocco Becht. And it's hold on a second, man. This is not now. And that is where, to me, Nani, this is the funny thing. The fix to this is so easy. I can't even believe that we might have to wait multiple years because we will 16 teams no round one buys.
Yep.
And if you automatic berths are fine, but that just puts you in. And it does nothing other than put you in. Oregon could be the 1, Penn State could be the 2, Ohio State could be the 3, and Indiana could be the 4.
Yes.
If we want.
Completely agree with that. It makes sense because you're saying, okay, you won your way in, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee you a top 4 seed at this point because it needs to get to 16. And also, like, the reward, like, here's again what you're looking at. Like, if you are Oregon, there's a thought for me, Kevin, that goes, all right, if we're the top seed here, let me raise my hand. I want to pick where I want to go. I want to be the 5th seed because Boise's the 4th seed. I'm going to get a home game to start against, let's just say, Arizona State or, I don't know, just throwing teams at UNLV, even though it can't happen that way. But just a game where I'm going to be favored by over a touchdown at home. Then I'm going to win and be favored by more than a touchdown on the road, technically in a neutral spot against Boise. Just give me that spot because Oregon's like, hey, man, this is awesome. Tennessee and Ohio State play. You get Ohio State and they go, we beat them by 1 point at home. Oh, good. At least we get them at home. No. You don't get them at home again. You're probably going to have more Ohio State fans in this neutral site stadium as your quote-unquote congratulations for being the top seed. It makes no sense. So I almost said, Kevin, the remedy is flip-flop. Round number 1, Kevin, neutral sites across the board.
Whoa.
Round number 2 in the quarterfinals, everybody gets a home game. Massive, massive advantage for yourself, your program, and putting more money in your pockets there. It's the way it is. I love it. This college football talk is sensational. Let's turn it over here to some NFL talk next. Big game tonight in Motown. DRS, it's Kevin. We'll be right back.
We dispense little pearls of wisdom, just like dear old Dad when he secretly let you taste his beer when you were 8 years old. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
1968, future Hockey Hall of Famer Phil Esposito of the Boston Bruins scores 2 goals against his goaltender brother, Tony Esposito, in his debut for the Montreal Canadiens.
They said, you scored both against him? I said, yeah. They said, how could you do that to your brother, you dirty so-and-so? I could have had 4 or 5 that night, but he was on top of his game. I think he had 38 shots that night.
For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
Technical University of Munich researchers have developed a pair of robotic hands, sort of like an electric motor bicycle, instead making you walk or run faster. 2 artificial tendons connect your thigh to your waist. Adaptive software senses your stride, affecting 18% less load on your body, like you're 20 pounds lighter. Future robotic trousers are planned to help you climb mountains. However, not recommended to use underwater. Follow me at Chicapalbo on X and stay tuned to The Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
Sports Rage tonight.
People criticize Winston when he was at Tampa. Like, he led the league in touchdown passes one year, and he threw a lot of interceptions. Very Ryan Fitzpatrick-like. Ryan Fitzpatrick used to, give you 2-3 touchdown passes in a game. He's going to fumble it. He's going to throw a pick. But at least you get something. What does Kirk Cousins give you right now? He doesn't give you field goals. He just gives you interceptions.
It's Sports Rage tonight with Gabe Morency. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. On the SportsGrid Radio Network. Don't be that guy.
You know the kind.
They're superstitious, carry good luck charms, and have extravagant rituals to win. There's an easier way.
Listen to us.
It means carrying 4-leaf clovers everywhere.
Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Yeah, right back at it here. Let's talk some NFL action. A fantastic game on deck. NFC North supremacy. We want to talk about the Green Bay Packers winning this football game against Detroit and throwing an absolute wrench in the NFC North and also the standings across the NFC for the fight for the number 1 seed. We got it all tonight. And as you guys know, I love to shop around on different books and see what they're offering here for some of those boosts and bonuses. And then on Bet365, it looks like it's a 3-game parlay, you get $25 back if you lose it. Not the greatest one. We've had sensational ones that they've had. I go to Fanatics tonight, Kevin. They have a 50% odds boost minimum of plus 300, which isn't bad. You can build something out, and I've done that quite a bit. I'll be participating. But here's where I start to get angry, Kevin. I see somebody that I follow here on X, and he goes, hey, you know what? Look at this. 100% SGP boost on Caesars for tonight's football. Like, I was like, wow, you don't see too many like accounts like doing that. I was like, let me check in. So I do have a Caesars account. I don't think I bet on there in a year and a half. Don't even check the website. Don't even check the odds. Don't care. So I go in and say, okay. So I hit the thing, and it says, okay, we'll send it, and hit the button to whatever your code is. So I get in and say, okay, let me check it out. Now, granted, again, it's a minimum of $10, which I laugh at. But then it's, Kevin, must be over 4-1, which, okay, 100% boost. They don't want to get killed on it. They want to have some insulation. And then you know what it said, Kevin? Maximum winning $1,000.
What's even the point of it
like
all?
100% boost. Hey, man, let me get in there and really take a shot. $10 to win $30,000, which you know isn't going to hit. But they're like, no. You know what? If you do build one that goes to 3,000 and you win, here's your 1,000.
Yeah, that's
who's reading that? Like, who would read that? Actually, like, you can't win more than this amount.
No, that's not great. It's not great. I got knocked down on FD finally.
Whoa!
Yeah. Now, not all the way. But the hundreds are 50s now, and the no sweat 50s are 25s. Here's what happened.
What? Because Lisa got boosted even higher.
Oh, right. They had to make room. But here. Now it wouldn't have mattered because I'd have lost anyway. Okay. But because Donnie, because usually, for those that don't know, but I've this season mostly copied the Donnie approach when they give you the plus 100 SGPs of let's just put money in the pocket and move on. You'll be happy for it in the long run.
Yep.
The second I got knocked down, you know what I did, DRS? All right, let me get a plus 450 cooking here.
Yes.
And it's like we were DOA.
Yep.
Because I was like, well, I don't know. It doesn't even have the same pop. Now, the 50's not a 10, right? And I was like, all right, that was a mistake. I'm not going to play it like that. But it's you've been doing one thing all season.
Yes.
And now you
rack your brain.
Yeah, it just shifts things up on you like that you weren't necessarily expecting. So that's kind of the issue.
And let me get this out here, too, because I think like sometimes sports books need to get a common gambler in there and say, here's what the people actually want, not from suits. And I say this in earnest. 10, like when, again, and I never do this, and you guys know me. I write it on Twitter all the time. Like, I love when you show me your tickets. $2 you bet, $4 you bet, $8 you bet. It's each his own. I cheer on every one of those bets that you guys send me, and I love it because I love to see tickets and people just getting into the action. Mm-hmm. But when, like, it's not, Kevin, hey, today at FanDuel on Sunday, it's unlimited. You get a 50% boost on every single game, maximum $200. You'd be like, oh, my goodness. We're going to town. We're going to break their bank. Sometimes, Kevin, it's once a week they offer 30 or 50% for one football game and one wager. What's the damage? Because here's what I'm saying. And, like, yes, I like to take the plus 100 and boost them up. But that doesn't mean I'm always winning them automatically. I mean, hell, I sat in a game that's had like 80 points on Monday night and lost money on parlays because Valet couldn't get to 20 yards. So losses do happen and happen quite a bit. But I just don't understand, like, hey, Donnie, we know that you're trying to, like, win money here. But it's not like if I was like Howard Carnting where it's like every single play, Kevin, I have the advantage over you. It's one bet. Like, go to a casino and they go like, you have one bet in blackjack to play one hand, and that's your advantage. But the other 3,000, we're going to go back to the other one. You'd still play because that's what the rules are. But the fact that like FanDuel gives me $10 is like, hey, Donnie, multiple boosts at $10. I don't even click on those. Like, and DraftKings, I don't bet that much. If DraftKings hit my account and goes, hey, Donnie, like once or twice a week, we're giving 50% boost, maximum, even $100. You know what would happen? They'd get a lot of my business because I appreciate that. Like Bet365, they get the majority of my business because they've never messed with me for 3 years. Hey, we know the guy's going to bet a decent amount. We're going to give him an advantage every once in a while, but we're just not going to be like, hey, it's $10 or nothing. Ridiculous, man. Just have to get off my chest.
DK loves doing this move. Hey, minus 500, and then all the points, rebounds, assists. It's like minus 525. It's like, I don't want minus 520. Like, stop blocking me.
Yes, and also when they go get the plus 100, everything I hit like gets it down to minus 105. I'm like, you guys are killing me out here. I got to put another leg in here. We'll be right back. It's Moneyline.
Attitude is everything.
Don't say I lost today.
Say I gained powerful insight into why I need to pay attention to SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. Free agent baseball superstar Juan Soto is nearing a decision on where he wants to play next. The Yankees, Mets, Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Dodgers are the 5 known candidates for Soto, whose deal is expected to exceed $600 million and could span 15 years to push the value to unprecedented levels. The second-to-last college football playoff rankings were released on Tuesday night. 12 teams make the field under the expanded format, with the top 4 getting first-round byes. Oregon remains number 1, Texas is number 2, SMU number 3, Boise State number 4. First-round matchups right now would have number 5 Penn State taking on number 12 Arizona State, number 8 Ohio State against number 9 Tennessee, number 6 Notre Dame battling number 11 Alabama, and number 7 Georgia facing number 10 Indiana. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop D-O-double G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line. Plus, 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys when you switch.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that jingle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 eligible trade-ins, and 4 new lines with autopay. Well qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99 credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence requires iOS 18.1 or later.
What's the big deal about a rabbit's foot?
I mean, how is that lucky?
Ever seen a bunny amputee on crutches? It's upsetting and scares little kids. Don't rely on luck.
Get the winning edge.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
All right, NFL action tonight. Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions. Let me just throw this out here, Kevin, tonight. You want NBA action, you got to be on the Pelicans. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? Pelicans are one of my favorite plays tonight. Juicy. Suns, 2.5-point number. Ingram's supposed to be back tonight. We're taking down the Suns. My Suns, I like to say. I'm taking them down.
Yeah, the old school Suns.
Lost a million games in a row, like 19 to 20.
In New Orleans.
Like they've lost in New Orleans.
Yeah, I get it. No Durant. I'll tell you. So it's very funny, Donnie. You mentioned the Lakers' demise.
Oh, yeah.
And they played a game yesterday so bad that if J.J. Redick started swinging on guys, nobody would have blamed him, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
where's the love for J.J. Redick? Is he still getting love for Coach of the Year now, J.J.?
No. I listen, it started out amazing, but obviously, no, not anymore, which is a shame. First of all, quick crystal ball complaint, Donnie. LeBron scores 29 points. I don't get 2 made triples. You got to be kidding me.
Oh.
You got to be kidding me on that one.
Yeah. The
so
legs,
that's
Kevin,
one.
are gone. Legs are gone for LeBron. That's what I'm hearing.
You know what it is, DRS, is, listen, we've all been watching LeBron for so long. So the first one went in, and I made a promise, right? And I was in the home. I said, I'll tell you this, when he makes the first one, the next possession, he's going to take another one. And he wanted to. But instead, he took like a one-legged runner off the free throw line, and it still went. And I went, all right, good. He's about to shoot 100 more. And Donnie, it's like, he's like, I'm tired of missing these. I ain't shooting them. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. So that was the whole thing. Whatever. They got smashed. Now, I'm not trying to cover for the Lakers. Like, again, the results right now are not great. But, Donnie, you poke your head up, and all of a sudden you look in that Western Conference.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, everybody came back to earth, huh? Golden State's losing every game they play. Suns injured as always. Like, it's that same old guard of like, look, man, I don't know. Go put Team USA jerseys on. Find a way to get with one another because your current situation's not going to get it done. Like, that's just what it is, DRS.
It's crazy. And also, they're, I think, the 9th seed currently right now at a 10. And it doesn't get any easier. Like the goal for the past 3 years for the Lakers was saying the same thing. Like, hey, look. Rest LeBron early parts of the season. He's going to be healthy and ready to go for the playoffs. Then they're fighting for their lives every December, and he's got to play 45 minutes a game just for them not to win, to be competitive in games.
But did you see the one thing? I'll tell you what, man. I give JJ credit, and So I'll tell you something I had beef with a couple years back in the NBA, and I was on a Donnie Island with this one.
Yeah.
You remember when Durant played every single minute, every second of that Nets-Bucks series, Donnie, when he was out there by himself?
And his big toe got him in trouble.
Correct. But you know what also got him in trouble? Playing every second, because he was gassed by the time the series was over. They could have stole him 2 minutes, timeout, switch over from court. They could have stole him time. But it was a little, Donnie, and again, I'm not trying to take away from what Katie was great, but it was a little performative, right? It was not prioritizing the right stuff. LeBron came out and was like, I'm going to play all 82 this year, right? And it's like, awesome, Bron. That's ridiculous. Look around. Nobody your age is playing all 82. Now, I'll be honest with you.
Playing.
Well, right, that's a good point. But guys half your age aren't playing all 82.
Correct.
But DRS, here's the thing. And again, I'm very, especially at this point, very honest with what LeBron is. One of the reasons LeBron wants to play all 82 is to make sure he gets to 65. Because he's got to make sure that he's eligible for all NBA and things of that nature. Well, JJ came out, he's like, yeah, I'm not so sure that's best for us, him playing every single game. And it's not.
Yep.
It's
and
not.
Like, hey,
it's
JJ,
ridiculous.
you want your job? You want to keep your job? You shut up in the media about stuff like this. And I would say this, Kevin, me getting the angle of the old school, I'll give you 15 minutes and understanding, explain to people. They don't do that because your legacy is your numbers. So if LeBron goes, I'm going to play all 82, but I only going to play 22 minutes a night, and like, oh, whoa, LeBron fell off. 16 points a game, only 4 rebounds a game. They would never do that. That's why they take the entirety of the game off to get rested to play the next game, because your stats will certainly reflect that.
But the thing is, Donnie, if you look right now, and I just pulled this up, their schedule. They play Friday, Sunday, and then not again till Friday, because I think the in-season tournament gets everybody a little break. Truly big. Hey, Bron, take the next 2 games off, okay? And we're good here. We just stole you 10 days of rest out of nowhere. We just gave you an all-star break.
And vacation. Send them away.
Yes.
Cabo.
Yes. But all of a sudden, by the way, Bronny's hamstring's not working. He can't play G League games.
Correct.
Like, get him out of there, too. It's all good. Because there's no reason for this, Donnie. He does not need to go play in Atlanta. Like, if they win or lose with him in Atlanta, it's ridiculous. Like, that just can't be the I don't know. You went to the Cup tournament at all? Like, did you guys do predictions on anything like that?
I don't. The good part about it is, like, I'm off Tuesdays, which primarily was a Cup day, so I don't have to even deal with any of the upkeep on stuff like that. Like, we reviewed the games, but if you even ask me, like, who's in, who's out, who's playing, like, could care less at that point. So no.
I'm holding a decent ticket though. I'm holding a 12-1 on the Thunder, Donnie, to win the whole thing.
Yeah,
and it's decent. It's a decent payback because I threw, I used my free bets on it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm invested at technically 0, right, for good winnings. So now I'm trying to figure out, like, all right, do I let him win 1 game? Do I let him win 2 games? Do I just say, hey, look, they're free bets. If it wins, it wins. Like, I can't figure out how to walk that rope just yet on OKC.
Yeah, because the buybacks and all that stuff are all like convoluted, since they're like free bets at that point. So it doesn't look as good as what it is because you don't get it back. Yeah, so it's tough to sometimes with those. It's a different measure of, why don't I just let it ride out? Because if I lose it, did I really lose any money? So that's why I'm taking a look at my 13 bets on the Detroit Lions right now to see if that plays out. But tonight, rooting against, like, hey, look, there's money, there's fandom. Philadelphia Eagles to get to the Super Bowl, Detroit's going to be in their way. The difference between home and away will be massive. So if the tickets win, they win. If not, there's no cash out like, oh, NFC Championship game, let me just cash out my tickets on Detroit because they're playing the Eagles. Like, no, it doesn't work that way at this point. So that's what I'm waiting on, which, again, perfect segue to the Detroit Lions tonight. Let's just start with the side. -3.5, -104 at FanDuel. Your thought between the Lions and the Packers sidewise tonight?
Yeah, the more I look at it, I think I like Green Bay. I think the hook matters.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the way I usually bet would tell me get to Detroit in this game. At home, 3.5, such a low number. But those defensive injuries are a lot.
Yeah.
I think the Packers could be one of those teams that's maybe, they're starting to play a little bit better football, right? And that's the way I'm leaning. And I'll tell you, Donnie, like, so you talk about Philly jumping Detroit for the 1 seed. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, we might have the Detroit Lions as the 6th seed in this thing out of nowhere because
I'm telling you, tonight
the
game
North
upset
is
the apple cart.
crazy, man.
Tonight could send the North into, okay, now we have clarity, or into utter chaos if Detroit wins this game. Or excuse me, if Green Bay wins this game. For me, like you know how my mind works. I was telling Ben this morning, I'm like, you know when I like the Packers? When they lose tonight, I'll bet them to win the NFC because the price will be so much better because I do believe the Packers on any given Sunday are good enough to beat anybody in the NFL. Yeah. Now, if they win tonight, obviously those numbers will be drastically short. I'm actually hoping they lose tonight. Then you throw down a little bit of a bet on Green Bay that maybe you can start to, hedge in the future at that point. But tonight for me, I still am going to stick with Detroit. But we also have the Fade the Public poll every morning. And how things are in line, you look at that and you go, man, 3.5 hasn't moved all week long. So the poll comes back, you can bet overs, unders, or sides. 33% to 32%. The Detroit Lions over the Green Bay Packers. So the odds makers nailed it. The public is saying they nailed it because they're basically 50-50 tonight. I think it goes either way. But I think overall, talent-wise for me, it's with Detroit tonight. I think Detroit wins and covers.
I don't think I'm going to end up on the actual Packers plus 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fascinated by our total tonight. 51.5 short. See, it should be a short work week, Donnie, but it's a full work week for both of those teams coming off Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We might get some pop in that game tonight.
By the way, Kev, you love pizza. I love pizza. We all love pizza. Our guy Louis Matteo out here at Louis Slice, working in Ozzy's a Pizza right now in New Haven, Connecticut, making up some pies for lunch. Shout out to people. They love it. We love the people. We'll be right back.
Luck is throwing a wad of paper into the trash. Strategy is bouncing it off your coworker's head first.
Hey!
Strategy
is more cool.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. Thursday Night Football, it's an NFC North showdown with the 11-1 Lions hosting the 9-3 Packers. The division is jammed up. The Lions lead the way, winners in 10 straight. They're 5-1 at home. The Vikings have won 5 in a row and sit right behind the Lions in the standings at 10-2-0, while the Packers are third at 9-3-0. They're looking to extend a 3-game winning streak tonight. Green Bay 4-1 away from home. 4 players are confirmed out for Detroit. That includes offensive tackle Taylor Decker, defensive tackle DJ Reader, and defensive lineman Josh Pascal and Levi Onwuzurike. Green Bay's ruled out cornerback Jair Alexander, receiver Romeo Doubs, linebacker Edrin Cooper, and cornerback Corey Ballantyne. The forecast in Detroit tonight mostly clear with temperatures in the mid-20s. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Hard to believe that Christmas is only a couple of weeks away, right? But there's still plenty of time to find incredible gift deals because Macy's Friends and Family Sale is happening now. What does that mean? It means when you use your coupon or Macy's card, you can take an extra 30% off, just like Friends and Family can. That's 30% off the best holiday gifts, 30% off the best designer brands, 30% off what's trending right now. It's just this week. It's just what you were looking for, and it's only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Every real player will tell you somewhere
they have an advantage.
It could be either physical, mental, or both. In your case, it's strategies and information you get right here.
The home of the winning edge.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Lions, Packers, Bears. Oh my! And the Vikings. Tonight, 51.5, Kevin. We're expecting points. If you want to look at the last game, you can't do it. Why? Windy, rainy conditions, outdoor in Green Bay. No Jamison Williamson in that game. Say, hey, it was a little bit lower scoring. Do we get fireworks tonight inside that dome? Or do we say, no, they're actually 2 decent defenses that should be able to hold it down in a game that means so much that maybe both of these teams with great offensive coordinators and game plans slow it down and stay under 51.5?
I think that's the issue, Donnie, is the reason to like Green Bay is all these Detroit injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that Green Bay is moving the ball and they're scoring quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Like, we look at 51.5. That just feels light to me the more I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just played the Bears with a total of 48.5.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay's a significantly better offense. The defenses are probably shade Chicago. Add in the Detroit injuries getting even worse week over week. I mean, that it kind of screams points to me. And listen, for anybody that doesn't know, I don't usually do stuff like this, Donnie. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
But on Thanksgiving, I had the under in that Bears-Lions game.
Oh,
I bet the in-game over for more money than the pregame under. As I said, I don't like what I'm seeing. And I had like what was it, 16-0 at half or something like that? I said, I don't like what I'm seeing here. I said, Detroit's going to go. Chicago can move the ball. And that game ended up almost getting over the pregame number. I ended up landing in the middle, which was nice. But to me, I think points is kind of the way to look here. Oh, look at this. And now it's -3s, even now at some spots here, huh? Yeah, I may just play this total. Because here's the thing, Don, like, who's to say Detroit doesn't still get into the 30s, right?
Yes.
Like
I take, again, you have some big players back. Watson's healthy for this game. And we looked at, we're getting the props in a second, the overall ones. But, just saying to myself, you have to have a really good quarterbacking night tonight for Jordan Love, which means those wideouts are going to pop and you're pushing the football downfield. And what you do love is they have two dominant ground games, but passers that work off of it. So you're handing off for 5 and 6 yards a clip. Safeties get closer to the line. They bust you deep on a couple talented players. Let's look at that anytime touchdown market today. Just using FanDuel, I'm not really shopping around per se. If I gave you, so I'll start with mine. But if I gave you any time touchdown to work with of any player in the game tonight, I probably would lean David Montgomery. It's just my automatic switch because he's going to get that, first in line usually carries in the red zone. But I love Amon-Ra St. Brown tonight. But do you know why I love Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Jair?
Nope. I do like that he's still out again. But Kevin,
it's because he did nothing last game?
He scored in 6 straight games. Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's one of those where I know how the room works. And I know Amon-Ra St. Brown's probably not saying, hey, Jared, I got 6 in a row. Let's make it 7. But I know that topic has been pointed up, and you see it around. It's like, you know what, man? 7, we can turn to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Almost a McCaffrey theory. But he scored at 6 straight games, and he's plus 100. He's not a McCaffrey plus 260 at this point.
Wait a minute.
So
he didn't score last game.
Says 6 straight games where they catch on the. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I read the wrong thing. How many? What did he have in a row, though? Didn't he have a streak in a row?
Oh, yeah, no.
I read that FanDuel streak wrong. I read it wrong, but he was on a streak then, so that's wrong. Take that out.
I think he had scored 8 in a row, and now he hasn't scored in 2 straight.
There you go. So I messed. I saw a tweet come out which was wrong. I knew he scored. I forgot he didn't score in the last game or two at that point. So strike that. But I still do like Amon-Ra St. Brown to score a touchdown tonight. But if I had just one choice, it'd probably be Montgomery, which means Jahmyr Gibbs scores the first touchdown of the game. And I'm like, here we go.
My brother sent it to me, right? But Don, do you just take the lines over 1.5 rush touchdowns and just be done with it?
Yeah, here we go. Because I'm glad you brought that up. If I go to the main props on Bet365 tonight for the game itself, Kevin, it's 2.5, and I like that. 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. I actually like that. If we are breaking it down from player for team to team, let me get the exact numbers here on both sides. So team props. All right, for the Detroit Lions, rushing touchdowns 1.5 at -115. And then you take a look here. It doesn't have where's the Packers at? It doesn't actually list the Packers up yet for some reason, but just Detroit at that point. But again, 2 is very expensive to have, but I do think there's a chance that we get 3. I'm so torn tonight, Kevin, because I do think we get points, but it's like, which way do I want to go? I think both quarterbacks, Kevin, could throw for 2 touchdowns tonight. That's not asking for quite a lot in this game. But at the same time, is this one of those where Jared Goff goes 26 of 28, 278 yards, and 1 touchdown because Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery are plowing it in from the 5-yard line? Like, they each get 2 rushing touchdowns, which we've seen.
Yeah, I'm nervous. It's funny you say that. I'm nervous about my little 200 1-1, see at the finish line bet that I've been doing.
Wow.
Because Donnie, here's why. The Lions not having a rushing touchdown last week, like that's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Like who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Campbell's like, hey, listen, if that ever happens again, Ben Johnson, like you can take the Chicago job tomorrow.
We're built on we're grit here. We're built on physicality, not passing touchdowns, pal.
Yeah, exactly. Like you better go get me my scores. So that's why I'm trying to figure out. Like, but see, the problem is, and I know you're gonna laugh at me because it's my own fault. But like the two books that I operate on, I can't get lines over 1.5 rush touchdowns.
Yeah,
I'd much rather. Like I don't know. I'd much rather that.
I mean, where is it at? Is it in the works?
Yeah, no, that's the other problem. That's the other problem. Like, what do you take, the 1-1, Donnie? What's it, pick? Like, what would the 1-1 even be in this game?
What do you mean 1-1 for
plus 155?
I mean, you know what? We're going. You know what? I'm gonna hashtag old school tonight, Kevin. That's where we're going with this. Yeah. Like I'm still going to take, because I have to use those 50% boosts, which means I'm going to be dumbing down some and doing that. But I think I got to go a little old school tonight. I'm going to take a couple touchdown props, maybe one or two. I'm going to over 1.5 quarterbacks for touchdown passes. I got to do that. But I do think I have to dip into that like specials market tonight, where you used to be able to get down. By the way, FanDuel, one touchdown to quarterback, each half. The greatest bet you guys ever had. It hasn't appeared in 3 years. 3 years Kevin hasn't appeared for. It needs to be back. We got one more segment to go here to get you lined up for Thursday night football with the boys. We'll be live in the studio tonight. It's the SportsGrid Network, baby!
SportsGrid is available on the radio, internet, TV, satellite, and our mobile app.
If you're not getting it,
ask the nerdy kid next door. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts, in-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more, all in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime, on the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. SportsGrid Radio presents Gridiron Greats.
And the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions.
Quarterback Bart Starr led the Green Bay Packers to the NFL's first 2 Super Bowls. During the 1960s, Green Bay won a total of 5 championships. In the 1967 Ice Bowl versus the Cowboys, Starr scored the winning touchdown on a quarterback keeper in the waning seconds.
Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback thinking he's into the touchdown, and the Packers are out in front.
For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Carver and Lisi.
You have Ohio State that brought the best players, had Chip Kelly and a gutless Ryan Day, and Ohio State went into the playoffs yet again. I mean, give me a break. How do you have that team as a 5th overall? They lost as a 20.5-point favorite at home to a team that was averaging 10 points a game. It's a joke.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, on the SportsGrid Radio Network. Newsflash, Sporto.
The pandemic is over.
Now you can roam free and do whatever you want. And with the SportsGrid mobile app, we'll be right there with you.
just take it easy. They'll confiscate your phone in jail.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Favorite targets tonight, people. Who are they? Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, Tim Patrick, Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft. I said it this morning, Kevin. If there's one player in this game that our really good friend Joe Lisi is going to be on, and you're going to say tonight, all right, we're getting underway here, Packers and the Lions. Joe, give me the outlook tonight on what you think is going to happen. Looking at Dontavian Wicks tonight with a big game, threw his number, 50-plus, and a touchdown. How about that? Does it sound like that could be a guy?
Jamison Williams, right? He loves Jordan Love, but like rushing. Jordan Love rushing will be on there.
Correct.
Jordan
Okay.
Love rushing.
Mhm.
Jordan
Or how
Love
about this one?
rushing is 100%.
Ready for this one? Can we get an anytime rushing touchdown out of Jared Goff? Can we get that tonight?
Mm-hmm.
I got it in a parlay.
I'm telling you, he dropped. He. Hold on. Let me pull it up because he did this. He called me Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
And he's like talking to me. He's like, this game's no good. I'm like, I know it's a terrible game, right? And we were messing around on the phone, like what could we take? What could have some juice, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he sends me back. Had to take a shot. Halftime wager, Donnie, or something along those lines. It was right.
Mm-hmm.
Jawan Jennings over 70.5 receiving. He was at 56. Right. You go, all right, fine. Purdy over 159.5 passing. He was at 97. Now, again, they got to throw, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's a third leg in there, Donnie.
Yes.
Brock Purdy, anytime touchdown. It's like,
yes.
Goodness me, man. Like,
can he get that? Can he get that? Can he get that?
68-1, just like absolutely fires away. It's like, it's just, he's just crazy, man. He's so crazy.
He is. But who's your pass catcher tonight? Like you say, you know what? This guy's going to be involved in either SGPs or straight bets here.
St. Brown. You know how I bet.
I do.
Donnie, he had less than 20 yards last week.
Yeah.
There's no way he doesn't pop off. There's just no way to me. So, I know it took Tyreek a while to get going in that game, which it did. But he got there, right? At the end when it was all said and done.
Yeah.
The tight ends have been good against that team, but I don't know. I don't like betting Laporta that much. I might also be burned from Brock Wright.
I think I lost it because I bet a lot of parlays sometimes, but Laporta getting 2 touchdowns, and I think he didn't get his yards for me last week. Was just one of those a punt. I think that's what happened to me, but I bet so many parlays that I got scraped on Sunday and Monday that just really getting fueled. Those are the tough
Are you changing your approach tonight though? Because you were pretty hot, not like nothing crazy, but I know you were very disappointed with the Monday night situation.
Just again in a game that had that much, but the problem was, Kevin, everybody else went off except like the one guy just needed to have his below average normal performance that was so far below. And sometimes we're like, man, he didn't even get a catch. Like getting 1 for 16 in the first quarter. And like, okay, that leg's going to be down. That's out of the way. Let me focus on everybody else. Like Njoku to get 4 catches. Dude had like 14 catches and 20 targets. Like everything. Like Elijah Moore, I got to have him in that thing. Scorched it. So I get angry with myself sometimes, Kevin. If I go, let me just take all of these guys I have straight, not even in a parlay, I'd probably make more money each and every week. But there are times where I've hit for $600, $700, $800 on doing some of these lower levels. Because the problem getting caught up tonight is I actually like Tim Patrick at 23.5. You don't have the Raymond in there is taking up that extra sloppy like thirds and fourths that you get, where I think he's going to get that. But sometimes you do have a little shell shock from the week before going like, let me take Tim Patrick. He's got 1 catch for 14 in the first half, and he's never heard from again. And it ruins your parlay where you just needed Amon-Ra St. Brown to get 40 yards or Jamison Williams to get 25. I'm still going to do that, but I feel like tonight I need to spread the wealth around a little bit on stuff that I like and then just use the bonus as, you're still going to take that. But let's just say something simple here. Jamison Williams, 49.5. I might take him in a parlay at 35.5 or 30 or 25.5 on Fanatics, but I might just take him straight anyway. You see what I mean? Like, I think I'm going to, I'm saying, you know what? I went 2 or 3 here, got my money back, but I lost the parlay. Not so bad. But being left with Vele, 16 yards in the first quarter and losing all 3 of my parlays when he just needed to get a couple yards, that's what made me angry.
Yeah, understandably. I mean, it was in the way you bet, right? They're taken down. What didn't come in?
Yes.
Chubb rushing and Vele receiving, and like Javonte Williams terribleness. Like those were the 3, But other than that, it was an explosive game, and it gets frustrating. But
like even we talked about like before the game, like the touchdown props too. It's like, Donnie, give me 2 touchdowns you like. Love to have Njoku a touchdown, and I'll take Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb caught a passing touchdown. Like you drive up the wall.
Javonte still scored. Like how about that? Like he still scored, Javonte.
Madness, people. We'll be live in studio tonight. Maybe the game of the year. Hopefully it's the most profitable game of the year. But thanks for tuning into this last hour. You know how we get down. Chris behind the wheels of steel. Your boy Donnie right side. It's Kevin Walsh. It's a SportsGrid Network. It's Moneyline. Tomorrow is a Football Friday. Good luck on your bets tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sure, you love the wife and kids.
But only we understand you.
We're your buddy.
Get the winning edge. Keep it here. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.